The V-Dub in Paradise is back! Hey guys, what you guys are looking at right here is the box from my previous video that I didn't get a chance to get to. But while I was MIA for a while, more stuff came in the mail. But for now, I'll just show you some of the parts that I'm going to use for the engine bay cleanup project. So first up, we have a T-piece hose that we will use to relocate the diverter valve. It's a silicone 2.5 inch inner diameter hose. So we will be using this piece to connect the throttle body diverter valve to the rear where the turbo inlet pipe is. So in this envelope we have a bunch of AN fittings. I got different sizes. I think it's 6 AN and 8 AN. But we'll be using these to replace some of the hose clamps and also for the fuel and oil lines. So the way that these work, they are quick connect fittings. So on one end you'll put it on the outlet of the fuel rail, for example. And then the other end, right here, connects to the hose. And you just screw it together. So next up, we have the Sei and Emissions Delete. So what we have here is a bunch of resistors and a block-off plate for the Sei. And this will pretty much remove the useless system that I have that's pretty much just taking up space and weight in the front. So I'm going to completely remove all of that. Braided fuel and oil line. This is a good 6 foot. It should cover the length of the fuel rail and the oil lines, I'm pretty sure. And also got black vacuum lines. I will be replacing and probably rerouting after the emissions are removed. So I got a good 10 feet of hose over here. Now in this package, we got these fat ass 0 gauge cables that we're going to use for the battery relocation. I got this as a kit. It's a 25 foot, both positive and negative. It came with an inline fuse holder. We got a little plastic coupler for the diverter valve. Also got a bunch of hardware, hose clamps, vacuum caps, and also and bolts. Now this little box in a box we have over here is our Coolant Reservoir. It's a much more smaller capacity than the original, but mainly we will be using this as an overflow tank and probably place it somewhere along the back or the side of the engine bay. It came with some hardware included, bunch of screws, some hose clamps, and a bracket. We'll probably be using these. Now I know this is a lot of stuff. Unfortunately, today we're just gonna do the battery and some interior parts. I will post separate vids for the rest of the stuff. So let's just dive into this thing. So here we are inside the GTI. Right now you're looking at my mismatched Mazda steering wheel. I didn't do this. I mean, it was already on when I bought the car, but I will be swapping on a Volkswagen steering wheel with an airbag. My safety check is gonna expire soon, so I'm gonna need to have it on to even pass. Now looking down here, we got the boring black stock pedals. I will be taking all of these off and putting some NRG covers and a dead pedal off of an R32. I'm trying to pull off the brushed aluminum pedal setup, which is gonna look sick. Now that I got that GLI steering wheel on, pedals nicely set up next we have the air vents. Up next is the battery relocation. We're gonna keep the fuse box up here, also the factory wires, and just run the power cable through the firewall and into the trunk. So the way I plan on placing the battery is on the left side behind the rear seat. I'm gonna bolt it down using the factory battery box and run the wire through the trims. I will be using nuts and bolts to secure it properly instead of self-tap screws, which is a really bad idea. So I do need to go underneath the car to access the bolts and tighten them. That means I have to remove the exhaust, drill holes, and put the bolts through. I'm pretty sure that's not going anywhere. The battery is now in the trunk and hooked up. All I did up here was connect the wire to the terminal just for a test run. I will be cleaning up the wiring later on, but for now I'll leave it as is. Here it is, the moment of truth. Looking good, everything powers on nicely. But let's give it a go. And there you have it, guys. It's up and running. Battery voltage is a little low, but it's idling fine. No cutoff to any power. So just to recap what we did some interior swaps, steering wheel, pedals, and the vents. And finally the battery relocate. So stay tuned for some more content. Like, comment, and sub if you haven't. And I'll see you guys on the next one.